You are watching the Pan-African Daily TV with Dr. Susan Tata. The Africa we want: unity, consciousness, our culture, our spirituality, our history. One Africa for Africans worldwide. Motherlands calling its diaspora home. Join my voice. Join my team. Join my campaign. Campaign 21 hashtag 1 million subscribers on the Pan-African Daily TV YouTube. Be a volunteer. Apply now. Be the new Africa. Okay, greetings everyone. Greetings every one of us here. Today is a very quick show. I call it show because I know a lot of people have been getting really obsessed. Us here on the Pan-African Daily, it has taken a long. Watching Pan-African Daily TV. Wait a minute, please. Now, be the new Africa. Wait a minute. It's like our destinations are not connected, so I just want to check on something. Can someone confirm if they can watch me on Facebook? Pan-African Daily TV Facebook.
My Wi-Fi. Yes, I'm trying to get a nice place for you and get a nice view.
Wonderful. Just get settled because you have a lot to tell us why you are still there. All right. Okay.
I'm ready. Just like once.
All right. So we had this breaking news and update today, particularly when we saw what Wodemaya posted on his Facebook page. That's when we just knew that we can't keep the silence anymore. It's been going on for a while, but we thought, it's just because of issues related to visas and, other constraints and that. But it's taking so much long that I cannot hold it anymore. And we thought, yes, it is a matter of, getting the facts on the ground. Now, what is going on? Everybody's asking, like, what is actually happening? Are you somehow like held or captured or abdicated, or what is happening? We want to hear from you.
In Jamaica, I'm quite free. I'm not captured here. I was just held for about 2 hours plus on my arrival from Dominican Republic. The real drama that took place was in the Republic of Dominica, and the bigger problem is that of movement of Africans on the continent and outside of the continent. The Europeans and the Americans have their enemies, and they tell some puppet governments around the world that if so-and-so is our enemy, and he must be your enemy also. So you find that countries that are on quarantine on the American and European charts are also on quarantine in most of the Caribbean countries. And the first thing I could say outright it is that the governments of the Caribbean, though they are black, they are not friendly towards fellow black people. That is the first thing, and I don't blame them. It is the system on which they are working. So the Caribbean is divided into 4 major groups. You have the Portuguese, you have the French, you have the Spaniards, and you have the British. So they divided the whole Caribbean amongst themselves. And their enmity, the anger of the British with the French, and the wars of the Spanish with the Portuguese, they end up precipitating themselves amongst the Caribbean people. So language becomes the first barrier. You could just be crossing from one island to another island, and you'd find that the language that they speak there is totally different. Like when I arrived in Republic Dominica, and you find that it's all Spanish thing. So pushed me in some custody there for 4 days. No food, no water, no bath, no, and just making me sleep on a bench for 4 days, literally. And I want to acknowledge that the visa system is a big scam which must be scrapped, particularly when African countries and Caribbean countries are still expecting visas from each other. If an African country is expecting a visa from another African country, you must know that the president of that country is still being controlled by someone else who is not himself. So I used the route away from the Americans and the Europeans to come here, which was through Spain, through Sao Paulo, which is Brazil, and from Brazil into Panama, Panama into Kingston. My return was supposed to be on the same route, but the conference finished on Friday, and I was in a hurry to go back home, so the conference felt they could book me a flight from Jamaica, Kingston, into Dominican Republic, and then connect my flight from there, which was going to fly me out into Guarulhos, and from Guarulhos I was going to connect into Sao Paulo. It looked like from the onset there was no problem because I was on transit. Alas, when I got to Dominican Republic, all hell went loose. They just pulled me off the line and started doing all they could do. I bought 4 tickets. I lost more than 100,000 worth of money. To go and buy a ticket, I go and buy it, and I was on the internet, so I was not even allowed to go outside to the travel agents to buy the things. We were doing it online, and my wife was helping me. I bring the ticket. No, the airline does not want it. Then I learned something very important also, that Copper Airlines, which is an American airline, which services the Caribbean, services the American interest. And if the Americans don't want you on their flight, even if the country you are going to, you have a visa for them, if they don't want you on their flight, they will simply object because you're an African. Because there's no way you can tell me that Copper Airlines can refuse me travel when it's written on paper in black and white that I'm a Zimbabwean and I don't need a visa as long as I'm on transit. And I don't even need a visa because I'm exempted as a country. So why would an airline demand a visa from me, yet the country does not need a visa? So is the country the airline, or the country is the country? These are the issues we need to start talking about, that until Africa begins to look at itself, including the Caribbean. And I'm saying Africa now, I'm even including the Caribbean, that the problems of immigration is one way of terrorizing and traumatizing and frustrating the business community on the islands and on mainland, to make sure that the African and the Caribbean will never be caught up in a conversation to talk anything that is progressive, because that business solely remains to be managed by the Americans and the Europeans, and their anger and hatred for each other is now spilled over to the black people amongst themselves. So I now have applied for a new visa altogether, though I don't need it, to go to Brazil, to go to Panama, then I'll board in Sao Paulo and I come back home. But until that happens, I'm still here in Jamaica. So the problems we see in Africa, in our borders, it is times 10 here, equally terrible here where we are.
I mean, when we had you the last time, you were on transit, and we could see that you were waiting at the airport in the Dominican Republic. So what actually transpired between that time when we spoke to you, and then what happened? I mean, you were supposed to board in the next 30 minutes, as you told us. So what actually transpired that kept you there for 4 days, sleeping in the airport on the floor with no water, no food, no access? What happened?
They simply said, the hands were said, the airlines does not want to carry you because you don't have a transit visa. Then what must I do? No, try and get another ticket, or buy another ticket to another country. No, that country would need a visa. But I've checked, they don't need a visa. Then the other time, we must take you back to the place where your visa started, which is Jamaica. And unfortunately, when I came back to Jamaica here also, unfortunately, I was kept for another 2 hours in a holding cell, and I had to pay another extra $400 just to get back into Jamaica so that I could begin my arrangement. It's just a frustrating experience, to say the least. It's us as Africans walking through spaces, and what Amir is just a few meters away from me here. We've been sharing our own stories also as to what happened to him, exactly the same. So there's no way the African leader can sit in his office, yet the spirit of the ancestors who wanted to return home are still crying in the ground, and the leaders are not even doing any efforts to make sure that there is direct communication, direct transport, direct exchange between the Caribbean and and the mainland. It is totally unacceptable, because as long as that happens, the benefits that Africa can offer remain in quarantine to the Caribbean. The human resource that the Caribbean can offer to Africa remains on quarantine. There's no reason why we should be looking for expatriates from Europe and from America to come and do business in Africa, when our own brothers and sisters here in the Caribbean are equally qualified, trained in Harvard, trained in Miami, trained in Florida, trained in New York, in the best of the countries around, best universities. And they're sitting around here, lying around with no work to do. Whereas we have the resources and we have the business opportunities that are available to them. But again, as I said earlier on, as long as we leave the European and the American community to manage that relationship for us, Africa will never be free, and Caribbean will never be free. And as I got here for the last few days, I think the spirit of Marcus Garvey has come to haunt me and occupy me a little bit. That if he spoke about repatriation, if he spoke about returning of the exiles back home, there's no better time to do it than to resurrect the bones of Marcus Garvey and say, ships brought us here. We can now begin to organize for ourselves as Africans in the Caribbean. It's not everybody. Those who want to go back home, it must be made easy for them to do so. As a result, the African governments need to start a debate and a discussion. How do you accept your own children that were taken away from you as slaves? How do you take away your own children and take them back in your own home? Your child disappears from the house for 4, 5, 6 years. When he comes back, you tell me that your child needs a visa into his own mother's house. Your son needs a visa to come back in their own mother's house. This is the kind of conversation we want the Africa Union to start having before they can talk about strategy 2030, 2063, and all those goody, funny, useless things they talk about. The first thing we do, we put our house in order. How do we put our house in order? We consolidate the African nation as one. The entire Caribbean must become the 55th country on the Africa Union. Point number one. The entire Caribbean must be under one power state, with one currency in their hands, with one passport in their hands. And from that angle, they can approach Africa also, which needs the same idea. So the combination of the Caribbean and Africa will form the Africa that we want. Just imagine the amount of tourism, we can unlock. All these Caribbeans who want to go there, all those Africans who want to come here. And what made me mad also is when these people, these Panora people look at you and you're a black man and they think that you're poor and you're begging, like I've run away from home, like I don't have money to look after myself. I am here because I'm going to be running away into their town and doing some illegal. I almost hired a lawyer there for $2,000 just to sue the hell out of them. So I'm not begging for anybody. I'm not begging for nothing. And I'm here not to lambast the horrible attitude of the Republic Dominican immigration officers. Their segregative and racialistic attitude. The way in which they down look at people and undermine people. If anyone wants to come to the Caribbean, the last place you want to go to is the Republic of Dominican Republic. It's a horrible place simply because of the immigration and the stuff that you meet when you're entering into the place. If you are black, just be prepared to suffer racism on steroids, just like we did in South Africa. And unfortunately, this time it's from black people. They call them mulattoes, which is a combination of Spanish and these mulattoes, and they think they are better than blacks because they're slightly lighter than blacks and they are closer to the white people. than we, the darker ones, are to the white people. So they make their money from becoming good boys to the boss and the bosses whom we don't know where the hell those bosses are. But that's the reality. We need to deal with it. I'm not here to report badly on any country. I'm just here to report exactly what happened to me.
We're so very sorry, my king. Please just calm down. I know how frustrating it is. All of us are waking up to this. Like I said, we have tried actually to hold down and to just be cool and to be civilized. That's the word, and to be civilized. And today was the limit that I said this would not happen, because you would never see on any media. If you were being murdered out there, you and Brother WODE Maya, nobody would even say anything. Even the postings and the interaction, like we are just on our own, like nobody can even help anybody. I mean, it's insane. It's so insane, and I can understand that frustration.
Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny that the Africa Union was meeting a few days ago in Addis Ababa? Like a few days ago.
Yes.
Benson Rutendo was in a. So what are you talking about? What are you talking about for the past 60 years as Africa Union? What are you talking about? When the real issues that are on the ground are still remaining unattended to.
We just want you home. That's all. We want both of you home safe. We want both of you home. I don't think it's even safe for Brother Maya to say he wants to go to Antigua. You don't have no business out there until these issues are regulated the way it's supposed to be. I mean, concerning the African Union, I mean, let's just even just talk about only the situation that we want to get you out there. You have to be out there. Now, what is the next step? When are you coming home? When is Brother Maya coming home? We want to see you here as soon as possible. I mean, as a matter of fact, yes, enough of experience, enough
We did
of
the application.
getting through the process.
Yeah,
What is
are we
it
okay
now?
with this? We did an application for Brazil embassy, and I think the visa should be available by today or tomorrow.
Today, tomorrow, but they need an itinerary that included South Africa.
Okay, apparently they said the visa will be available, but they need an itinerary that will include Sao Paulo, South Africa. So I must quickly phone Madame and tell her to finalize the Sao Paulo, Johannesburg leg. Tell her
You
to
don't have
quickly
to
send
do
me
that.
that.
I'm going to do. You don't have to do that. I'll take care of that right away. Um.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is crazy.
So if I get my visa today, or tomorrow, then I could get started, say later on tomorrow, or
Wednesday.
or Wednesday at most.
At most.
At most, then I could get to, because the flights also coming out. Some of them do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I might have to wait for Wednesday. Today and tomorrow I do my visas. Then Wednesday I move into Panama. Then Panama, Sao Paulo, Johannesburg. So I should be back home by Thursday, Friday at most.
So, as a matter of fact, everything now is this information that I'm having from you right there. I mean, I heard somebody speaking from the background. I hope we could see his face. And we really thank the brother.
Yeah. Brother Carlton, he has been taking me around Jamaica, driving me, helping me with all the resources. He can also share with you my frustration here. He has been my bouncing board.
Thank you very much, brother. How are you?
I am good. We're 100% good. It has been a challenging situation. Nobody anticipated this. Nobody expected this, but it happened. So we figured that we're solution oriented. So what we went out and get whatever they asked for. So they asked for a whole bunch of documents this morning. We went there. We got. Matter of fact, just now they called to say they want the leg, which makes no sense, but we're going to do it anyway. They need the leg of the itinerary that will go from Brazil to South Africa. So this morning we're having a conversation in the embassy, and we were saying that, but this doesn't make any sense. We came through with no problem, and now I'm going home. That's the part that we can't understand. We're going home. So while we're having an issue going home, and we went to the Panamanian embassy, and they were real nice. They were real nice. They even gave us a document to travel with, said that there's no problem. We're good. You know what I'm saying? But we can't understand what's happening between Brazil and between Dominican Republic. But anyway, what we're doing, we're not picking a fight while he's outside. We just want to get him home. And when he get home, then we can start a fight.
a big fight. I can't wait. A big fight, because I'm telling you, I don't want to raise any alarm, and I'm just calling on you that are watching me. It's not about raising any alarm. That the fight is not yet started. We just want to get, brother. Are you joining him on that flight to come back? What will you be doing there? As a matter of fact,
I'll
my
be doing
king.
all the unfinished work that you will start when you leave. So we have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work to do. You know, funny enough, as I said to you many times, that I don't believe in accident. Everything happened for a reason. So I'm not upset. I just think this happened for us to learn some of those things. And I'm glad that he's been here, because of him being this extra time now, we've learned a lot of stuff amongst each other and a lot of projects that we can do in the future. So I think it's their loss, not our loss.
Thank you very much, bro. Thank you. I'll have you on the show when he gets home. Right now, we're more concerned that
Okay, no
he just
problem.
gets home. He just gets home. That's all
Well,
we want for now. Just get home. My
yeah,
king, I don't
he'll
want to
be out
talk
here
about.
on Wednesday.
Okay, okay, okay. Thank you very much. And
No problem.
you're smiling. You're putting on all the royal robes, but we want to get you here first before we start talking about that adventure
No,
and whatever.
that one.
Because
Yeah,
still before, if
we need a separate program for
From
that
now
one.
on.
of course,
Yeah,
sure.
you
I
need
mean,
a
we just
program.
wanted to make
You
sure,
you
not
need a
that.
program. Yeah, you need a program just for that. You need a program.
Yeah,
Thank you very much. So we are sure to have you home on Thursday. Everything
all
being
things being,
equal.
if we can get that itinerary now, I think that's the last leg. All the documents have been accepted, so immediately that last leg, Sao Paulo, Johannesburg, is available. I should be able to run to the embassy, and immediately I get my visa sorted out, you'll be the first one to know. Then we can start organizing and buying tickets from there.
Thank you very much. I just don't want to. Just make sure that you are not running away. You are not a runaway husband. I just want to make sure that all this whole thing. Because I've been seeing you waltzing on the beach,
Uh,
and that is worrying.
I I know someone who's very happy to hear you fight her battles. I know someone who's very happy.
And that's someone I'm ready to have her live right now. I don't know. She's not connecting yet. I wanted to get your wife because I mean she has been through the most deepest thing. I really
In,
just
in, in
wanted.
fact, in fact, I think the real program is with her. Now,
Yes,
because she's the one who was doing the running around. Me, I was locked
I
in.
know.
I couldn't do
I
anything. So
got
I was
it.
just saying, so maybe get in touch with her and get a nice little 15, 20-minute press. You will be impressed.
I know. I know. Right. Okay. I'm trying to get her on. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Just join me. Just join me in here. I know you're laughing now, but you were not laughing when all this whole thing stand up. I sent you the link. I need you here in the studio. Just log in right now. Thank you. I'm waiting. I mean, this is it. This is the point. This is the point, King Maponga. I know we might be cool. We might be sounding like okay, because the answers for there. For you to understand what is going on.
You
We
must be
might be
genuine.
laughing right now, but
You
I
must
mean,
you
it's
must be a
right.
genuine. You must be a genuine pirate in real life. No one has ever been able to put me on a show with Madame ever in my entire life, except one program I did myself. So you could be the first one ever.
Of course, we have been on this punch bag. Like today, I was like, when I talked to her, she said, "No, this." I said, "No way, no way." And when I reach my limit, that's no stopping. No, nobody stops this. This limit was already like, I just want to find out from her, because it's not really easy. Your husband is out there. You don't know when she's coming or he's coming back home. You don't even sure if he'll come back home. This handsome, clever one right here. So it's just cool, just cool. It's okay. All right, now we have the queen right here. We have That is her. Woo! Our festivals just want to clap. I want to clap, my sister. Sister, I want to clap. How have you been going on? I mean, we've been on, yeah, forget about me. How have you been going on? Look at your hair. Like you're just sleeping like somebody because the husband is no. What is happening? Tell us, Malali.
Greetings all. I guess it has been a hectic, almost 9 days to be exact.
Yes.
Um, we couldn't sleep given that we are in different time zones. We are in South Africa, and him being in Dominican Republic, and of course in Jamaica. So it's been very hectic for us, and also to a certain extent because of the different time zones. The preparation and
Oh, I don't know what. Okay, go ahead.
yeah. Uh, but we are here, we are alive, we are kicking. Our hair are a bit funky, but we are fine. We are fine.
Wonderful.
We're
How's my
just waiting
daughter?
for the king to come back home.
Thank you. How's my daughter doing? Because she's the one that has been, when is daddy coming home? When is daddy coming home? How's the princess?
No, they are all good. They have been praying for their father to come back home. The other one was saying, Mama, there's a DJ one called Shamiso, the outspoken one. The second one, of course. She was saying, Ma, when is daddy coming? Call him. I called him earlier. Call him. When is he coming back home? Is he serious now? And I tried to explain that, most of these issues are outside his control, but we trying our best.
So, Madam Maponga, just tell us in very simple terms what you went through the process, tickets, connections, and to and fro. From your own side, even from when he started the journey from Jamaica, how difficult was it for you to get access to this process?
I guess it's been hectic. For him to live here, it was a lesser hectic in the Jamaican embassy in South Africa were very cooperating. There's a certain lady that perhaps, because I don't have her permission to mention her name, she was very helpful and assisting. And the king left. The whole havoc started, I guess, Saturday when he calls and say, I'm prohibited from proceeding to Sao Paulo, which is in Brazil. I guess, although it has been hectic and hectic emotionally, financially, and otherwise, I need to say that he has lost so many appointments that he was supposed attend to last week. But I guess we have learned a lot, and we know that as Black South Africans and as Blacks generally, we know that we are still oppressed. And in Sizulu, they say indelendela, indlela. It means the road is still long for us, especially if you are Black and you are an African child. And how do I know that? I remember at some point I called I called the Brazilian embassy, and then they told me that I can do e-visa. And when I tried to do an e-visa online for him, it was only open for Canadians, Australians, and USA individuals. So any African person can't do an visa, which is actually quite easy because you pay the money and then you get a visa within an hour. I applied for the visa, they accepted the money, but the refund also is quite an effective system actually that Africans are prohibited from partaking in, because I did the application and then they rejected the king because of his nationality, but they also refunded. The refund was immediately. So I'm saying, as African children, we are in trouble because some people are more equal than others, like Canadians, Australians, and USA individuals can do a e-visa, and they can even get it in an hour's time. So
that must be very hard, isn't it? I mean, sometimes we hear about racism or all this act, but being pushed and slapped in the face just like that, I think, you know.
yeah, but I also want to thank my husband for knowing his temperaments. He's been a real king, and thank you so much. I remember one day I was speaking with him over the phone, and they tried to give him a water in a plastic cup, and there was drama. You can imagine, I'm so like miles away from him, and there was drama. Because they couldn't even permit him to buy a bottle of water. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? And you know, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, even if it's immigration, perhaps procedure, where is human rights in all of this? Where you cannot permit a person to just go and procure food. And at some point, I remember they even requested him to give them his bank card. And I'm saying, how do you do that? How do you give strangers whom you don't know your own bank card? So in as much as perhaps we need to adhere to immigration laws and regulations, but I guess they also need to treat people with respect. I believe when we talk Western civilization, they talk about human rights, but I want to believe that they are the worst. I'm sorry, but I think they are the
No,
worst.
no, sorry. There's no sorry about it.
If you cannot allow a person to just go and procure water for himself, I mean, and besides that, who would take a water that is not bottled, that is not secured, and drink it when you don't even know where it comes from? You are in a strange land where people are ill-treating you. Those people were ill-treating him, and they're expecting him to take water from a plastic cup. Honestly, it's disheartening. If the West, or they are the best in terms of a democracy, where is democracy when a person for some reasons went into a wrong airport, which is perhaps inherent in error, and then you don't even allow a person to just have decent meal? For me, you know, I'm baffled and I'm still so shocked, honestly.
You can say that very loud and unapologetically. Now, my queen, if you compare the way we are receptive on the continent of Africa and the kind of hospitality, I mean, you would say this is night and day, isn't it? And what would you really, advise your children, about this kind of attitude? Because
I think first and foremost, I'll say I'm quite thankful and grateful that I'm African, and better still a South African, Zimbabwean. Of course, I'm married to a Zimbabwean. I'm a Zimbabwean. I want to believe that as South Africans, we are very receptive people who has Ubuntu. When you see a person, you would want to assist a person in dignity, not treating a person like a prisoner when a person is not even yet a prisoner. But I want to believe even the prisoners, they have human rights. So I'm just saying we still have a long way to go. My only issue is when somebody of the same color ill-treat the same person of the same color and wants to act like they are more equal than them, then for me it's an issue. It's an issue. Then we can say this, in South Africa we called it apartheid. It goes a long way. You know, I grew up during apartheid times, although I was a little bit younger, but I'm saying I think they are actually worse. The treatment that my husband actually received in Santo, is it Santo Domingo, Republic airport. I think honestly it was inhuman. It was just not right. And I wanted to tell you something. Then they say to him, the immigration officers, you are free to go. Then we procure a ticket from Santo Domingo to Sao Paulo. After procuring the ticket, then the new shift came in. The previous ones, they left, they went home. There's a new shift now. Those ones who are now new, they tell him that no, you can't go. Then they said no, the flight people, the Copa Airlines, they are saying you can't go. I called the Copa with them online. The Copa says no, we didn't say that. These are immigration procedures, and we don't want to be involved. Now I asked the guy, I can't even remember his name. I asked him, why is my husband not going home? No, the Copa Airlines is saying it's not agreeing. When I call Copa Airlines, no, ma'am, it's not us. It's immigration laws. So it was just one story after the other. But I still say somewhere, somehow, someone needs to be held accountable.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Somewhere, somehow, someone needs to be held accountable. I won't mention names, but somewhere, somehow, someone needs to be held accountable.
We know already. But you know me. I would allow myself that we're not mentioning any names, but when it gets to the point where I will have to mention those names, please, I'm so sorry for those that are watching me. I would not withhold anything, because we have to take responsibilities for our actions, isn't it? And we are mothers, and we know how to make these corrections really fine.
Yeah, they say if we also decide to be silent, and I would actually want to appreciate and thank you so much, because there are times where silence becomes a betrayal. And in this regard, I just want to thank you for pushing me to come and speak about these issues, because then if we don't speak about them, then our silence becomes betrayal to our brethren and the coming generation.
That's the queen. Well spoken, correct, on point, particularly when you're a queen to a warrior, to a king that is in battle. Automatically, you're part of that process. Of course, everybody knew that at one point we'll have to have you here. We tried that last year, and we said we're doing our mother thing, and it's going to come up. But this one was really necessary for me to get you out of bed, because I mean, when our houses are on fire, I don't know how we can just be comfortable like that, my queen. I'm so sorry. I know it's very late out there, but something needed to have been done.
Yeah. The truth is, even if I know he is safe where he is, but I can't rest.
Yes.
Yeah. Because we need him home. Yeah.
Like never before.
Yeah, we need him home.
I'm so sorry, my queen. I know we're still going to have a podcast.
Say, bring him back. Bring the king
back. Hashtag. We're going to just, that's why I asked him and that person again, are you sure Thursday, like you are telling us? Because I mean, we're just barely what today, and a couple of days, I'm already so impatient. But let's say yes, we trust the process. Thursday is the deadline. Is the deadline. If not, the revolution has to start. There's no stopping, no way anywhere. That is going to continue again. Thank you very much, ma'am. What do you just want to say? I mean, the last word before you go to bed. A midnight prayer to us.
Women, we cannot be silent. This is the time, as African women, we must stand and, start talking, discussing these issues, debating them. We need to start to be deliberate about discussing this kind of issues, because for the longest time we have seen men in the forefront. But I want to believe you have created a platform where we as women, we can start, discussing and coming up with a resolution on how to resolve issues that are affecting us on a daily basis. Can you imagine, between you and I, can you imagine how many people bought those tickets and they never use them again? They are never refunded. I don't want to speak bad about the airlines, but can we imagine how much African people have lost because of this immigration laws which are not friendly to the black-skinned people? So I'm saying this is the time we must stand up as women, and we must start maybe
Thank you very
discuss.
much.
And of course, maybe to a certain extent, we should start protesting, aggressively so, protesting for such unnecessary immigration laws that are very abusive to an African child, to a black African child.
Yes. Absolute, my mom, my queen. I think like for far too long we've allowed the men to take this battle. This battle is for the mothers right now. That's what I feel. I mean, I'm not beating around anything. I mean, in as much as we know that, you know, they always come for the men so that they render us, you know, vulnerable. But I think at one point in time we need 1 million women, 1 million, and we're going to lead that. Trust us on that. We
Count
are
me
going
in.
to lead that.
Count me in, my queen. We are protesting, whether it's an aggressive protest, whether it's a peaceful protest, but I am in. Count me in.
Thank you. Thank you so very much, my queen.
Thank
So
you
we
so
want
much.
to wish you a good night, because I know in South Africa now you guys, I think at midnight, or what time do you have there right now?
It's actually 11 p.m. now.
11 p.m. Oh,
Now
you
you
go
can
to bed, just drink
now
your water.
when I'm supposed to go to bed, then he's awake. When
Yes.
when he is in bed, I'm awake. So it's been a hassle, but we shall overcome. Someday we shall overcome.
This day. Thank you, Mom. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
my queen. It's a blessing to have you here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good
Thank you.
night. Yes. Okay, people, this was a short broadcast. Now you heard it. Like I said, it was too much to keep. It was just too much to keep. At one point, I find myself exploding. At one point, I find myself like a betrayal. At one point, I find myself, it was not controllable. We tried to manage the situation, right? We tried to be calm. We tried to be cool. We tried to reason with them. We tried to say, okay, we are learning. When we are traveling to other countries, we tried to be civil. We tried everything in these 10 days, honestly, day and night, day and night. There were press releases that we already had programmed, but each time we want to drop that press release, we never, we just still say as a benefit of doubt, let's just still be cool, let's be calm, let's just hold on, you know, let's not start something, particularly the fact that he is still there. Because I mean, I'm a witness to the issue, because I like facts on. I like to be in that place. So that I'm not talking from somebody's experiences. I'm not talking borrowing a story. I saw it where he was sleeping all those days. Professor James Small, all arrangements that were made even to get across to him, even the people that brought water could not get access to him. Marshall Lawrence did everything he could from the first days when the alarm bell rang. Brother Jan Joseph from Antigua, we mobilized already on that day, because the last show we did here, that Sunday with him, and he showed us that he was at the airport. So after the show, I mean, he called before I ended the show. I saw that he's been calling so many times on the phone. So I had to reach out to him and ask, what is the situation? That he said, can you imagine I'm not allowed to board? You see, it was still not normal, but at least we just like, okay, it's something that is going to go, you know, is going to be resolved. Marshall called, Brother Ian called, Kwame called. Everybody was just calling because the whole stuff was unbearable. But in the first days, but we keep hoping, and we, you know, us. And that's one thing that I want us to learn from it. I think we are too cool to a point that it's not normal for us to just be cool anymore. No, I mean, we're too patient. We're too patient to the fault that at some point, even, you know, your counterparts begin to doubt you, that are you for real? So I think when some things need to be done, they had to be done. They must be done. They should be done. And we are not saying we will overcome someday. No, that we are overcoming today. We're overcoming today. And like I promise you, honestly speaking, Thursday, all right, let me say Friday, or let's just say a weekend to get every processes. If we don't have them back on the continent, I think the revolution must start. It must. And I mean, I'm a Bamenda girl. I'm a daughter of southern region of Cameroon, from Bamenda particularly. And we have a weapon called the Takumbangs. If you've never heard us, you've never knew about us, just research what the Takumbangs mean. The mother warriors. What you see today, we act in the woman king, from the Benin kingdoms, started right there in Cameroon. Started right there in Cameroon. If you want to know who we are, just Google Takumbangs from Bamenda. From Bamenda. I'm a Bamenda girl. Then you would know what it means, because it's at some point, like I said, we can just not be cool. At some point, these women that have been mothers, girls, that have been so cool, that need to be very respectful, that need to go down on their knees, that need to be, I don't know, submissive in order to be called, in order not to be called, oh, you're a strong woman, or you're an aggressive woman, or you're this. It has to stop. If this is who we are, then we have to be who we are. I'm so sorry. I don't know how we can make this up. People, I don't know how we can make this up. I don't know what kind of how do they call makeup? I don't know what kind of makeup, but I am saying it, and we are saying it today, and we are declaring it on the Pan-African Daily. We are civilized as much as we want to. We are patient as long as we want to. But when it comes to the battle line, we are no longer going to be patient. It took only Bamenda to bring down the world. Bamenda. The revolution and the battle of the slaves in those days, even the slave masters, started by the market women of Cameroon. Research your history. The Bantu tribes that are all spotted around Africa came from Cameroon. There is no doubt that we are made like that. And a Bamenda girl will start that warrior, will start that battle right now. If we don't get ourselves together, it is enough. I mean, enough of conferences and talking. At some point, please, we have to go out. No, At some point, no, we have to leave our comfort zones. At some point, we have to stop thinking, oh, we need a job to be able to do this. At some point, we need to go hungry to be aggressive. We need to stay without those comfortabilities to be able to take responsibility as mothers, as women, as daughters. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry for what I'm saying. I'm just sorry to say when we get loose, there's no stopping. And I think this Africa needs to really go to battle with itself to be able to get it right, that maybe we don't even need to travel. What are we even traveling for? If not because of our stolen children that we're taking into all these islands. Why would an African even leave the golden paradise to go and look for what? They be asking you a little bit of paper visa. Is that just paper visa? They wanted to extort all the monies from King MAPONGA. That's the fact. We know it. These are hungry people, poor people. You can say it aloud. This is poverty in its real format. All these issues of, oh, you don't have this, even if you pay this. And so someone will come and tell you, no, it's because you're coming from, no, they're just afraid. They fear because they know the origin, they know the truth. And someone is acting like, and I hate when we keep giving them credit. I really hate when we keep giving them credit. Oh, no, because they think that they are. No. Anybody who behaves like this is actually just exposing your ignorance, your primitivity, your nativity, your backwardness, your uncivilized, to the extent that you look at a fellow human being, he looks like an animal. Even an animal is part of the human creation. It's a mess of the first order. It's a mess of the first order. To hold our own accountable. No. They better not touch these kings. They better not touch any one of us. They better not do it. They better know better that this time around, nope, we're going and we're ready. We're really ready for it. So people, I just thank you for joining. I thank you for your patience. I thank you for waiting. I thank you for getting the message on time. And I thank you for not being that, like somebody always has to force us. You can see everything is real. Everything is natural. Everything is normal. But like I said, it's not going to always happen that we're just so cool. There are 2 individuals on Facebook posting their commercials on this chat. I just want to tell you to resist. Just go out before I kick you out. We are not in a commercial show or entertainment on the Pan-African Daily TV. I think most of you have seen that. You know how we sound. You know how our names are. You know the things we discuss here. We don't even accept commercials on this channel, not even our own. So if you bring all those your tricks and it's always from Africans, just take it out before I know your names. I see you right here. Because when we start talking about some of the problems that we're having, most of the problems always come from us. Little-minded. They're refusing to grow in your mind. We're talking about something that is burning and you're there posting your stupid adverts. They're not even African-made brands. Just take yourself out before I kick you out. Because I know you. I'm seeing you in my chat. And I can get to you at any means possible. So just back up before I even get to you. When we are at serious business, please, we have to stop joking. We have not even accepted publicity on this channel. Never, ever. We haven't. Have you ever seen us promote a brand here? Have you ever seen us? It doesn't mean that we don't like money or we can make money or we're just stupid to make money. Because this is not an entertainment platform. Haven't you seen that? It's not a platform where we come and make jokes. This is a legacy. And if you didn't know it today. And anybody that is joining, signing, subscribing to these channels, you know what we are. You know who our names are. You know our languages. You know who our faces are. You know it. So I just wanted to really, really sincere. It's not a walk in the park all the time. Okay? I could really be somebody else than the nice Susan Aney, Dr. Susan Aney that you know. I could really be somebody else. When we don't get it to other, we know how to put other. That's how an African mother nature, mother of the earth, we know how to correct, even when we're nice. But don't push it. So thank you, Patrick. Thank you very much. That's so very, very correct. He said, I just ban them and I kick them out. Of course, that's the right thing to do. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, David Bertrand. Like, you see, this brings us, we don't want no distraction, but some truth must be said. This brings me to the point of the next channel that will be coming is the travel channel. Travel channel, because we have to be awake. If we are not trapped by sea, we are trapped through visas. We are trapped through leaving our kings to sleep at airports on the bare floor. We know water, we know food, we know clothing, we know even access to share a communication with some other person. So we need to be really on spot. So we'll be giving you channel 3. And channel 3 is going to be a travel channel. And in this travel channel, we'll be talking about immigration irregularities that are happening on the continent and at the world at large. Yesterday, I said it. It seems as if sometime we begin to always say Africa. We are no longer just going to focus the struggle and the challenges of the African child limited to a continent of 54 countries. What is happening exactly on the continent is worse, like you heard the king said, happening out here. So it is the world in Africa and Africa in the world. That's how it is. And you on the continent, stop saying, no, we in the diaspora. No, we occupy every other space that we are in. If we are given the authorization by the government and the systems to stay, yes, we are here. Home is where we are, and it doesn't take you to be on the continent to effect that change. How much more can I say this? Look at our track records. Check us who we've been. What kind of contributions we've been making in our communities out here. Check it. Check us out. We're not just content creators. We're not just YouTubers. We're not just influencers. And I hate those words to the dumbest of my bone. Influencers. What do you mean, influencers? We're not just asking people to hashtag to follow us. We don't need it. But because these mediums are given for social purposes to connect us, we have a free satellite that belongs to nature. We're going to use it. So it's not every face you see on social media or on TikTok just playing. Every African now are even using all these mediums instead of us to call out the injustice that is being done or to come together like we're doing, talk about our challenges. What are we doing? We're behaving like babies on our phones, don't even know how to use these things to make money. And we come here and be posting things that are irrelevant in a conversation like this. Something must be wrong with you. Check yourself. Okay? We are serious. This is serious. I told you 2024. We are ready. We are so ready. And we mind our business a lot, but I think it's going too much. Now, when it crosses into the diasporans are here, migrant communities or the indigenous diaspora, the people on the continent are looking like, oh, you people are in a paradise, you're living well. Oh, because they see the Caribbeans on their islands, they're struggling. You on the continent are just graciously. Do you know what it takes to be a diaspora? Do you know? Your government sit there on the continent just like, yeah, we want our diaspora to come home and bring investment here. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. We are not your Chinese people. We are not your European people. It's enough. We're your children. And that continent is mother. And we can live anywhere in the world we choose to because we know how to behave responsibly in every spot that we are. Check all our actions in the diaspora and look at what the diasporans are doing to contribute every penny that they send to you at home. The economy of Africa is glowing because of the diaspora, because of the migrant. And you see some of you disrespectfully when the diaspora struggles to come home and you disrespect them. These are talks we need to do. These are conversations. These are lectures we need to. Because the black grains, just like Brother MAPONGA is saying, sometimes it doesn't even need to look another color. It has to be your own enemy. And like I said, it's not about playing cool. This is channel 1. I remind you, we have channel 6. We have 6 channels, okay, on different platforms coming up. And we're going to be treating these topics the way it should be. I think at one point, like a mother, no matter how soft you are, at one point you have to raise that energy because God gave us, our ancestors gave us, be like that. Okay, we're not trying to play cool or civilized because we learn the modern system of shh. No, we are not. We are loud people and own it. We are. No matter how even in our spaces, we are loud people. Accept that. We live in bushes. Yes, we are from nature. I live in the deepest bush here because I want to be really in that nature. I don't need anything that would worry my patience by saying, oh, you're loud oh, you're this. No. So we need to be careful how we go on with each other. It is difficult for people in the diaspora, for Africans in the diaspora. You need to have compassion for us. Why did you think Dr. Marcus Garvey came to Africa to raise funding to fund the initiative that he started in Jamaica? Why do you think, for God's sake? Because now, when we're studying those history, it's just as if, oh, you know, he was a rich man that built a ship, that this is. But we know how they met, all of them with Josh Patmont, and they came to Africa and went village for village and said, your children that were in the diaspora need your support. They need you right now. And the villagers gathered up. I love to always use this term village and villager. If you don't like it, just go and don't drink water, drink anything that you want to drink, because that's who we are. And when we always try to play some kind of modern, I don't know, it's wrong. The villagers rallied around and said, brother, what do you need from us? He said, I need money. I need money because without money, we can't do anything. And they gathered from fenny to fenny to fenny, from villages to villages, and they could kick up, you know, the agenda they had to reparate their people back home. So don't just sit on the continent and you think that people in the diaspora, they act. You know, we don't print money. Even on your own continent, you can't even print your own continent, your own currency. So how dare you think that the diaspora is going through exactly what MAPONGA, King MAPONGA is explaining to you. And it doesn't matter who you are. I'm sorry for our leaders so much. What are misleaders or how we call them? I'm just so sorry for them, because it would have happened to Ekagami. I bet you they would do exactly the same. It would happen to Mohammed Farki. I bet you they would do the same. They don't care who you are, in as much as your color depicts you. Whether you are a president, show it to any kid here on the street, nobody knows you. So when you sit in those your chambers and think that you are somebody, and they carry you through and protect you through all those things, and you begin to feel that you are supernatural African than any other, I'm sorry for you. Just stay home. And that's why you don't have to feel, you get to not understand what the children are going through in the diaspora. No matter how they call, no matter how they shout, no matter how they talk to you, you're just mute. Anything can happen to those two boys that we have there right now. I bet you we'll all sit here and be, where this is powerless. Powerless. Because no father, so-called father that are ruling, stands up. Try that to a Muslim. Try that to a European. Touch their children. You will know who they are. You will know the parents. And our own parents, they're boys. Like in the kindergarten, kicking football. I don't even know. All right. So I'm so sorry, but it is just the way it is. And we need to get our acts together. We need to unite and solidarize among us. Set your alarm clocks at 12:12. Just as I'm talking to you, doesn't matter. When I say alarm, all of you have handies, because sometimes when we say alarm, you're thinking that you're going to buy something else. All of you have handies. And when you go to your handy, you're going to see where they say alarm clock, because it's there. The Western, they made the handies and they put the alarm clock because they're workaholic people. So alarms always have to wake them up. I know on the continent is some kind of like strange to you. That's why you use handies as gadgets, as play toys. That's what a handy for an African is, of course, because you're the chosen. You're the royals. You don't need to bother yourself and ache your head about what is this. They take it, they put it like, what is this even? So, but like I'm saying, this noun here is something that has an alarm on it. And on that alarm, you need to put 12:12. When you put 12:12, you put a bell to ring it. Each time that alarm rings, you just think about each other. Ubuntu, as simple, as practical as it is. When we raise the alarm bells, like we are saying here, And then we'll be here at 12:12. You see Cheryl, you see Stevie, all the 12:12 movement, women already putting it. As we come out here, there won't be a time where I'll be telling you these things. I'll not be telling you, okay, our brother or our sister is the. I will just post 12:12 and you will know what it's all about. Court we're going to have. And I don't want anybody to keep telling me no. And, we shouldn't have to discuss these things. For what? Have you seen me wear a veil here for one day? Have you ever seen me hide my face here for what? No, I'm right here. We're going to give you all the codes, how we're going to operate. All the channels will be operating for, and everything that is happening to one, whether it is in China or in India or in the Dominican Republic, whatever you are, 12:12, we're going to gather and we swear on you. Yes. We're going to gather and we swear on you. Maybe they think that we're going to come out like that. I just said, Google what Takambang means. I'm going to put the name here. Then you know that it's time. We're not joking here. Too much of these jokes. I'm giving you the word. Just go online and put only this word. Some is spelled differently. Some are spelled. Put it. Or you can even go ahead and put Bamenda. Yeah. And then you put Takumba. I think. Yeah. Google it. They might not give you some results because they've been pulling it down. When the mothers would wake up, we'll go by the Takumbangs and you see what will happen. Maybe you're still thinking all these economies and all these things are breaking. You don't even know what is coming up. It's just the beginning of things that are coming up. When we swear on you. Thank you. Tomorrow we're going to have Ambassador Tony Jaja here. I guess like what Brother Maponga was saying. I don't know, Patrick, what you have there for us. We were told that they will be sitting down. They'll be sitting down at the African Union House to do a reshuffle. So we don't know what the results are coming out there. But yes, we're going to see what is happening there. So, but Brother Tony Jaja is coming to tell us all the happenings. And you see why we put our channels like that, because we don't want to start using all those. This is politics. What is politics? We'll give all the codes to the channels and you will just understand what it means so that we can understand in our Takambang language what these things mean. So when Brother Tony is coming live, don't say, oh, no, I'm not interested in politics. No, it is politics that determines who you are in this time. And you need to know what is going around the world. I just met with a girlfriend of mine who was telling me, she's a girl from Greek. And she was telling me, oh, Dr. Tata, do you know that the WHO is coming out with an agenda, and maybe we might find ourselves again in lockdown in a very close time and stuff like that. But if you look at it and you just say, no, it's because it's just world politics, but it's going to affect you. Because when they in all these things, when we are not rising up, we're not getting our voices together to say, we are not part of what you are doing in our name, it will meet you. It will meet you. We need to be involved. We need to be informed. We need to be informed. So like nothing. Like I said, you use this like toys. Why you're using it and playing it like toys, they're busy setting up all these agendas. And before you wake up, you're caught up in it. That's why I said social media is not a bad thing. It's okay, but it's another one big distraction that if you don't know how to use it, you just know that you are being kept aside for something else that is happening. We have to know your environment, listen to world news, Google all the time. It's a school that is given for free. Use your phones and get informed. Be informed of what is going on around you. You don't just sit and then something is happening and you don't even know. What happened in this place? You didn't even know. You know, it's not just only about us. We have to, just a normal, sensible person has to know his environment. You know, the way we rolled on the continent, even in the villages. Even the dogs, they go and mark their territory. Haven't you seen that? Pussycat. We learn from animals. They mark their territories. They know it. They set boundaries and rules. And that's the reason why we need to, at every time. It's been 4 years or 3 years, isn't it? And we're still meeting here with the same people, the same faces, the same vibration. I mean, most of you have gone into making your researches about everything that we were taught here or that we informed ourselves here. But most of us that are standing on this battlefield, we're here. Okay, we're right here. So be informed about everything. We're going to be caught again. We're going to be caught. Just like we were caught some a couple of years ago, and everybody was like, oh, I didn't know. But it's coming right now. And this time around, nobody hides any information from you people. No, it's right there in front of you. How you want the Africa you want to be depends on how you look at the environment around you. Whether you're watching me from Bamenda, you're watching me from Bangui, you're watching me from Cape Verde or from Madagascar, it is the same. That's why all the agendas already came and we're talking about a global village. And that's why whatever policies is no longer being, oh, you an African president, I decide for this. No, somebody is just going to wake up and say, we decide that we want only 1 billion people. We decide that, no, you have to take this, whether you like it or not. Now, it's no longer, please, your right, we need your rights or stuff like that. Please, you can get all the lawyers on earth. So if you don't know who you are, sorry. Better live for something. Okay, when we're jumping, better live for something. You better live for something. Don't just live for that crazy job. Don't, because that's one of the things they're going to on us. We need it. We're working, but be wise. Who gave you birth? My mother would always say, who birthed you? Okay, just when only that word. All of us, our mothers told us that when you made something that was not correct and they wanted to correct, just say, who birthed you? It means who gave birth to Adam you. Because she knows I can't give birth to you. Okay? So who birthed you that you're going astray as if you didn't know where you're coming from? You don't know where you're even going to. So who birthed you? Who birthed us? We need to wake up. We need to sit up and stop all this money thing. It's not going to help you. It might just help you a little. But the biggest money is when you know who you are and you can produce according to your needs. Don't be so exaggeratively. And at sometimes say no to it also. Just say no. I'm okay. I'm enough. Yes. So what? Yes, I'm poor according to you. So what? So what? Get basic food, drink enough water, eat enough vegetables. We're going to do all that on the travel and health and all that. That channel would be right ears. African spirituality, we already said it. We're just introducing you a little bit because we know some of the information. When we give too much information to you, a lot of people can't take it. They can't take it. They can't handle it. It's too big for you. That's why we're chopping it according to your level of faith. According to your level of faith, we do give you. Then we'll be adding, like in the pot that we're cooking soup, be adding water. We taste salt. Good. No, not much. We add another water. We taste this. That's it. That's just it. Okay. And we'll be doing these things and you're going to pick it and translate it in your different local languages and bam, it goes. Okay. Central production here. So I want to thank you. Bless you so much. Don't be irritated and say, oh, Mother Africa, the Queen is annoyed today. Yes, the Queen has to be. When my house is not in order, I do. That's what we do. We don't pretend. We don't even hide it. You can see, like I said, don't always, no, try to behave civilized because somebody told you, no, you have to be a shh person. No. You gotta be very loud because that's your nature. I don't know any place that the animals are just going around and just mooing. When it's time, they shout. And they'll say, yo, they're aggressive people. And you see some of our brothers and sisters that have been shoe-bladed into them and they lost their mind. They will be the one even coming after you as if you're crazy. But you look at them and you just shake your head. How lost we are. We'll see us tomorrow, people. Just go you to sleep. I know most of you watching me here are from you have your daytime down, and I want to appreciate you so much. This means a lot to us, me and you, and there's no way that we have to miss this opportunity that we have. There's no time in life that we can go sit down after watching Pan-African Daily for 3-4 years. We are stepping ahead. Your life can never be the same. Please bed it down. If you are still thinking the way you used to think, look at life the way you used to look at life. Look at material things the way you used to honor and gratify them, and even will give up your life for it. Then I don't know, the 100,000 subscribers and the millions that we have on our different platforms have been something else. But from what we see, and from the actions, and from your fruit that we see, we know that we're raising a good generation. And we're so proud of ourselves. You are so proud of yourself for putting even that little gadget to watch. I see my counterparts watching even right from the village. Yes, sacrifice that. Even if we have to go and work only to come and put gadgets to listen to the revelation, it is time. Listen to it. You don't need any, go to your education. But this one that the mothers here, all of us, the sharers, the Stevie, all of us plus you are doing here, it is very essential. So I see Patrick just put a channel 6 channel here for your subscription. You're watching me, more than 400 of you. You should go, if you haven't heard about that, the channel 6, just go click on that link that Patrick put and subscribe. Okay. Channel travel would come, and migration and all these things. We have a right to travel. They come to us, we go to them. It's a free world, but we need to know the tactics. We need to know how the game is, because sometimes too, we're not informed about the things that we're supposed to do, and we leave people just manage our business, and it's almost always wrong all the time. You need to be informed yourself, and then you can already contract somebody, but at least you have a basic knowledge of what it takes for you to travel. I will make you travel to any place you want to go, because it's your right. It's the basic right for every human being to travel, no matter how many who travel. Even by voodooism, we used to fly. We'll travel. If you have a need to travel, please get ready for Travel Channel. You will travel to any place you want to travel. Yes, we will, because we know how to behave. We know how to keep the laws. We know how to work it. Okay. So thank you very much. We see ourselves tomorrow. I know it's so hard to leave. It's hard. The hardest thing that I have here on Pan African Daily TV is always separating from you at every point. Because for me, it's like the last minute is the last thing. That's the way I roll. Like it's happened now, maybe it will never happen again. So I give my best at the little thing I can do. And just seeing you here watching, and I think to retire, it's always the deepest and the saddest thing for me. I don't know how to say goodbye. I just don't know. It's in my nature like that. But at some point, because we have to move ahead, you have to free me and I free you too. But you know your love is here. The wife of the continent, the mothers are here. Okay? So I thank you very much. we see us tomorrow. I'm so sorry. I'm not laughing because it's something funny. I'm just laughing. Some of your comments, it's really moving. I don't know what we should do, but tomorrow. And like I said, I promise you, every day I'm here now, because we have to make sure we put our eyes on these sons that are out there that went to just do a good work. Brother Watermeyer went there to show the life and the culture of our people. And you saw he was at the carnival. Everything was so good, so big. Wow. And this is how we connecting. And then out of a sudden, You say, no, he needs a visa to go to Antigua and to do. So my grandmother is in Antigua that you took thousands of years ago. And I need to ask. And I'm already in Africa. And then I need to go to this. It's not different from Africa. Is it different? Because sometimes when we're talking about this Dominica, we forget it's the same thing. You go to Cameroon, you want to go to Ghana, you need a visa, you need to fly by this. And I love that speech of Julius Malema. We'll discuss it one time. This is too much to discuss right here, okay? So thank all of you who supported this process. A lot of people called, a lot of people have been worried, a lot of people were engaged in this whole thing. Getting up midnight to find out if the king is okay, if he has eaten. A lot has been going on in the background. That's why I said, before you see me come to break the ice, we've done everything possible. So it's not like it's something that we didn't know. We know, and we played cool, and we were smiling here with you, but we were working so much in the background. Okay. All right. So my love to you, my beloved. Good night.
You are watching the Pan-African Daily TV with Dr. Susan Tata. The Africa we want: unity, consciousness, our culture, our spirituality, our history. One Africa for Africans worldwide. Motherlands calling its diaspora home. Join my voice. Join my team. Join my campaign. Campaign 21 hashtag 1 million subscribers on the Pan-African Daily TV YouTube. Be a volunteer. Apply now. Be the new Africa.